Good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose. It's a rainy day. It's supposed to be April showers brings May flowers, but now we're getting some rain here in May. We didn't really get much in April, but you're not here for me to tell you the weather forecast. You want to know the number one tip when it comes to your not so supportive family or friends. I'm here to tell you that there's a way to get through it. I'm going to help you right now. The number one tip to overcoming those unsupportive family members or friends on your weight loss journey. It's probably one of, if I were to just say one of the biggest obstacles. Of course, there's lots of obstacles, but we're going to attack this one this morning. One of the biggest obstacles. Good morning. I'm going to make it a point to say hello right off the bat. Sometimes I get so focused. I have a short-term memory deficit, so sometimes I try to just pull up. I even take some notes sometimes, and then I forget to see who's on here. Good morning to you, Lana. I appreciate you for being here. Listen, thank you. If this is your first time, or if you've been watching me, I do appreciate you. And all I ask is that you find value in this, is that you share it with somebody, you like it, you comment, you engage. I know Facebook is used for a lot of different things, and I know first and foremost it's used to connect with people. So I hope that you enjoy this daily dose. I hope you find value in it, especially maybe if you're in that weight loss journey and maybe you are that type of person who is ready to commit. Ready to commit. You are ready to make changes, but you know one of your biggest obstacles is not having a supportive family and friends. And I have a really, really good tip for you. I'm going to give you even a bonus tip. So let's go to the bonus tip first. You want the bonus tip? Here it is. The bonus tip. This is especially for like if you have friends and you go out with and maybe you have your girls' night or even your date night with your spouse, or maybe you're around family, you have family dinners and you know, you're trying to maybe eat a little healthier, and they're maybe noticing that you're making different choices with your food. And unfortunately, you know, when it comes to people getting used to you, you know, if you're around family or friends who are used to you making certain choices, a lot of times it comes up to them asking you, what are you doing? You know, and then they'll give you the runaround, and they're your friends and they mean well. It's like, oh honey, you're beautiful just the way you are. You don't need to lose weight. Just enjoy yourself. Have another drink, have that piece of cake, you know, whatever it is, you know, let's share that appetizer. I totally get it. I hear this all the time. But I want to tell you one little side tip to help you get through that. And you don't have to say you're on a diet. You don't even have to say that this is truly, it can dissolve. This can help you even tonight, maybe over the weekend. Maybe you have some vacation plans, family plans. Maybe you are traveling and maybe you're going to be around friends and family, maybe even your own spouse who maybe isn't so supportive. This is a bonus tip. It's not the number one. This is the bonus tip. We're going to go in the reverse order and give you a bonus tip. The bonus tip is just say, you know, my stomach has been having some issues. So, you know, I'm trying to make sure that my gut, especially if you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s, my wife works in GI. It's a legit excuse. Use the gut and stomach issues, the stomach and gut saying, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that fried food tonight. I'm going to hold off on that cake. You know, my gut's been a little sensitive, and maybe you've even been at the doctor's office, and you can blame it on somebody like my wife, who's the GI specialist, who's saying you got to be careful with the stuff that you're putting in your gut and your stomach. And that could be right there. Do you like this tip? If you like this tip, give me some thumbs up down in the comments. If you think it's a good one, maybe a thumbs up or some fire in there. This is a simple, because here's the reason why it's such a good tip. As soon as you use that tip, as soon as you tell somebody, no, I have to just be careful with my gut, you know, my stomach issues, it automatically brings the conversation around poop. Literally does. It brings the conversation around your digestive system, and nobody wants to talk about your digestive system. Like, it's going to be a conversation that just moves. Like, we can talk about poop when we're around our kids. So you can talk about that. This is the bonus tip. This isn't even the number one tip. The bonus tip is when you're around maybe unsupportive family members or friends or colleagues, you know, maybe it's your spouse or even maybe your kids. You're like, no, you know what? I just got to be a little extra. My stomach's been a little sensitive. And you can use that one. You're like, I've had some stomach issues, some gut issues. As soon as you start to bring that up, the conversation is going to switch. They're going to dissolve. It's when you start to talk about like your stomach, and that goes into like your digestion and poop. That's it. It's going to be done, and it won't even be a question. So that's my bonus tip. I'm giving you 2 tips. That's the bonus. The other tip is actually something that I've seen and have been a part of for a number of years now. And here's the thing. Now, I know whether it be your friends or a spouse, maybe family members, maybe it's your parents who are used to you being overweight and out of shape. Maybe it's partly because of how you were raised, why you're overweight and out of shape, and you've been just down. Your environment, unfortunately, didn't lead you to a healthy lifestyle now in your 40s and 50s. So now you're around those family members, you're around those friends, maybe your spouse, even maybe your family and your kids who pretty much took on your habits that you transferred over. And I'm not here to judge. I just want to here to help you get through that. Here's an awesome tip to get through that. Now, are you going to just divorce your spouse, or are you going to break up with your family, or are you adopt your kids out to somebody else, or, find new friends? Well, obviously those are all options, and I'm not telling you to do that. In fact, that's probably a terrible way to go about it. And I'm not saying to go get new friends, because sometimes I've even thought about that. If they're not going to be truly your friends, then they're not going to be supportive, but they're also used to you honestly, in their defense, they're used to you being a certain way. They're used to you ordering 3 drinks out, 4 drinks out. They're used to you going out and indulging in chicken wings and ice cream and, chilling out and not going for a walk, not exercising, not on a Friday night going to the gym or, working out in your backyard or going for a jog around your neighborhood. They're used to you, chillaxing and relaxing. And that's where that's gotten in the way of you and your weight loss journey. So here's the tip. I know you've been waiting, and I appreciate you guys and I think this is going to be super helpful, because it's truly honestly, I believe the magic in my coaching program. I know it's the magic in a lot of people's success, is to not just move away from those. In fact, some of those you can't, right? Your family members are your family members. You got to be there, right? They're there for you. You're there for them to some extent, but they're going to be always your family members or your spouse. Hopefully you're staying till death do you part, right? I get that. So how do you combat that? How do you get over the challenges and struggles of having unsupportive people around you? Well, guess what? It's kind of like habits. It's very similar to habits. When I talk about habits with people, there's 2 directions, right? When you're going towards the habits that aren't maybe in this direction, you're not going. You got these positive habits here. Maybe you got these habits that you've built up over time and they're there. They're still going to be there. But when you start to develop new habits and you start to move more than sit, you start to eat healthier, you start to drink more water versus soda or caffeine or sugary drinks, all those things. What happens is now the sugary drinks are still there. Maybe you have that habit, but you start to pull yourself in the direction for the way you need to succeed. Now, how does that work when it comes to your relationships? Well, it's the same thing. Not to say that you need to just avoid and block all those people, your friends and family members, but it's maybe you need to surround yourself with people who are going to be supportive, who are going to be encouraging, who are going to build you up. You see, you can balance it out. I know a lot of people that are in my coaching program have been in my program for maybe they're in their first week or their first month or in their first year. And one of the things that I say that there's a difference when you're in a coaching program and you're in a community setting that's not only caring and supportive and encouraging, but also you're surrounded by other people that are trying and working towards similar goals. Like when you we're built for community, whether it be online or in person or in your neighborhood or in your church. We are as humans, we're built to be connected in community, regardless of what that looks like. Now, you can be in a community, you can be trying to lose weight, and you can even have the best diet, and you can have the best workout plan, and you can have all the structure, right? You can have all of that set up, and it can be awesome. It can be awesome. And then you do your workout and you eat your food, and then the rest of your day is around unsupportive people, is around an unsupportive spouse, who's around an unsupportive group of friends. Maybe you work in an environment with a bunch of unsupportive people. And I would say maybe your environment at work can't change. Maybe your environment at home can't change. Maybe your environment around the friends that you have can't necessarily change, or it's just too hard to. Maybe they're great friends, they're just not really supportive in your health habits. So here's the tip is going back to saying this. You got to surround yourself with people who are going to help build you up, not just a coach. In fact, one of the things I love in our community, we have a private community of people who are on a path, and we do weekly trainings, we do live trainings, we do weekly goal settings, we celebrate wins, we have questions, there's ups and downs. Like, we're in this together. And I want to tell you, having been a coach, not just a coach in fitness, but a coach in team sports, when I was, all the way way back in the days when I played sports and I was captain of certain sports teams that I was on, and even just, those kind of roles in coaching, one of the things that's been so encouraging to me is watching other people encourage others. Like, there's that level of community support, even if you have the support of, say, your spouse, you and your spouse might be in different ends all day long. They may be at work all day long. And you may be at work all day long. You guys may be just kind of crossing paths and then trying to juggle the whole thing of parenting, right? And take care of what you need to become a parent. And then there's little time to be supportive for each other. And even though you're there and you put your head down on your pillow next to them, then it's still like, oh, how'd it go? Good. Yeah, good. That's it, right? There isn't like the kind of support that most people are missing. Most people are losing on their weight loss journey because they miss the accountability, not just the accountability, because that's just one part of it. They miss the kind of support that's truly necessary. One of the things that I hold so strongly about what I offer people is not my ability to help them succeed, is the environment that they're able to enter into to create the kind of support and accountability and encouragement and motivation and the push that they need to stay after their goals, right? Here, that's the difference. The difference between most people who are failing on their weight loss journey and the ones who are succeeding, it comes down to not the workouts, it comes down to not the nutrition plan, it comes down to the support along the way. Now, I've made a mission in my life to help in my life, really this year. It's going to be way more than that, but this year to help over 1,000 people. And I know what that requires is to get more people on board, to get more people into my inner circle. Now, if you want access to the inner circle, you got to actually be a good fit. You might not be a good fit. Maybe you're not ready for a permanent solution. Maybe you're not ready to be in a kind of environment. Maybe you're just so used to in the habit of being around people who are unsupportive, friends who are, going to say, why are you dieting? You look beautiful just the way you are. Meanwhile, you're breaking up inside because you hate the way you feel in your clothes, or even worse off, when you're looking at yourself getting ready in the morning when you get ready to go out or get ready to go to work, right? You can barely feel comfortable and confident in your own skin, yet everybody's trying to tell you, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do this. Well, you're the one living with you, and that's what really matters most. So I'm going to encourage you. The number one tip is to not break up with your friends or your spouse or your family members. It's truly to surround yourself with the kind of environment and people who are going to either balance that out or obviously pull you in the direction that's going to help you ultimately succeed. Now, if you want access and you want to see what's happening, you see the success stories. I'm posting videos and before and afters and wins. That's because that's the kind of environment that people will win in. If you want to be in that kind of environment, just shoot me a private message with the phrase inner circle. Just shoot it. If you want to know what the inner circle is like, let's hop on a call and let's talk about it. Let's see if you're going to be a good fit for us. Now, if you're just looking for a quick fix because the summer's here and you want to fit in the bathing suit, but you haven't done anything and you're like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds in a week, that's just, sorry, I'm not the right guy for you. I'm just telling you, please don't reach out to me. But if you've been struggling, if you've been kind of unsupported, if you don't have any accountability, if you don't even know how to start, you need to reach out to me to find out more about my inner circle. Just shoot me the private message, inner circle. And that's all I have. I hope this was helpful. Share this with a friend. I love you guys. Take care and have an amazing, blessed day.